A very active and increasingly dynamic winter pattern is unfolding across a large portion of the United States, and as we move through the start, middle, and end of the week, multiple snowstorms are expected to impact millions of people. This is not a quiet stretch of winter weather by any means. Instead, we're looking at a sequence of systems moving out of the north, each reinforcing cold air, each producing snow in different regions, and each creating its own set of travel and infrastructure concerns. From the upper Midwest and the Great Lakes early in the week to the Ohio Valley and the Mid-Atlantic by midweek, and potentially all the way down toward the Carolinas by Friday, winter is set to make its presence felt in a big way. Monday, the first snowstorm begins to take shape as a surge of cold air dives southward out of Canada. This system moves in from the north, and by Monday, snow starts to spread across Wisconsin. Initially, snowfall may be light in some areas, but as the day goes on and the atmosphere becomes more organized, snow coverage expands and intensifies. By Monday afternoon and evening, much of Wisconsin is dealing with steady snowfall, and temperatures remain cold enough to ensure that all of this falls as snow. Roads begin to turn slick, visibility drops at times, and travel becomes increasingly slow, especially outside of urban centers. By the way, if you'd like specific weather forecasts for your region or city, please leave them in the comments. I'll answer them individually as time allows. Also, if you like the video and subscribe to my channel, you'd be very grateful. Now, let's move on. Cities like Madison are likely to see accumulating snow throughout the day Monday and into Monday night, with enough accumulation to create hazardous driving conditions. Milwaukee may start off lighter, but snowfall increases later Monday into early Tuesday, impacting commuters. Farther north, places like Green Bay and surrounding communities are more firmly in the cold air, and snowfall could be more persistent, with gusty winds adding an extra layer of difficulty by causing blowing and drifting snow. Even areas on the western edge of the system, including parts of Minnesota such as Minneapolis and St. Paul, could see light snow. But the bigger story there will be the reinforcing shot of cold air arriving behind the system. As we transition into Tuesday, this snowstorm shifts eastward and begins to impact Michigan. Snow spreads across the lower peninsula, becoming steady and occasionally moderate in intensity. Western Michigan, including cities like Grand Rapids, will likely see snow develop early Tuesday, with accumulations adding up as the day goes on. Farther east, Detroit may see snow arrive a bit later, but even lighter snowfall there can still cause significant travel issues, especially during busy daytime hours. In parts of northern Michigan, lake-enhanced snowfall may develop as colder air pours over the relatively warmer lake waters, boosting totals in localized areas and extending snowfall even after the main system begins to pull away. While this first system is still working through the Great Lakes, attention quickly turns to the next storm lining up behind it. By Tuesday evening, a separate snowstorm begins to move into the Midwest, taking a more southern track. Snow starts to break out across Indiana during the late afternoon and evening hours Tuesday, and this timing is especially concerning because it coincides with the evening commute. Indianapolis is likely to see snow develop quickly, with roads becoming slick in a short amount of time. Even if snowfall totals are not extreme, the combination of timing and snowfall rates could make travel difficult across the metro area. As the evening progresses, snow spreads eastward into Ohio. Cities like Fort Wayne and Columbus are likely to see steady snow Tuesday night, with accumulations continuing into the overnight hours. Cleveland, closer to Lake Erie, may see snow arrive later at night, but even lighter amounts could still create problems on untreated roads. Farther south, Cincinnati may be closer to the southern edge of the system, but periods of snow are still possible, and any accumulation could be enough to slow traffic and cause delays. By late Tuesday night into early Wednesday, this same system pushes into West Virginia. The mountainous terrain here plays a significant role, as higher elevations tend to squeeze out more moisture from the atmosphere. As a result, areas like Morgantown and the higher ridges of West Virginia could see more persistent snowfall, with accumulations adding up more quickly than in lower elevations. Charleston is also likely to see snow during this time, with slick roads and reduced visibility becoming a concern through early Wednesday morning. As Wednesday unfolds, the snow continues its eastward push, reaching into Virginia and the Washington, D.C. region. Cold air remains locked in across the mid-Atlantic, which means precipitation is likely to stay in the form of snow for many areas. In western and southwestern Virginia, including places like Roanoke, snow could be more substantial due to elevation and proximity to colder air. Farther east, Richmond sits closer to the rain-snow line in some setups, but current indications suggest snow is still possible, especially north and west of the city. Northern Virginia and the D.C. metro area are particularly sensitive to even small amounts of snow, and by Wednesday, snow reaching this region could cause major slowdowns. Washington, D.C. may see snow during critical travel periods, and Baltimore is also likely to be impacted. Even a few inches of snow in these densely populated areas can lead to widespread delays, school closures, and flight disruptions. As the system finally moves offshore later Wednesday, snow gradually tapers off, but the cold air remains firmly in place, setting the stage for what comes next. As we look ahead toward the end of the week, the pattern becomes even more concerning for winter weather lovers and travelers alike. By Friday, a much stronger and potentially more impactful snowstorm is expected to drop southward from the north. This system appears to tap into a deeper reservoir of cold air and may have access to more moisture, which raises the potential for heavier snowfall over a broader area. Unlike the earlier systems, which are more regional in nature, this Friday storm could have a much larger footprint. As this storm develops, snow is likely to spread across parts of the Midwest once again. Cities like Chicago could see another round of accumulating snow, possibly heavier than earlier in the week, with gusty winds creating areas of blowing snow. Indianapolis may find itself back under the gun with another snowfall, adding to already snow-covered ground. Farther south, places like Louisville and even Nashville could see snow, which would be notable given how far south this system may reach. What really stands out with this Friday storm is its potential southern extent. Current trends suggest that snow could push into parts of the southeast, possibly reaching as far as the Carolinas. Cities like Greensboro and Raleigh in North Carolina could see accumulating snow if the track holds, and even Charlotte has a chance of seeing wintry weather. This would be a high-impact scenario for regions that do not frequently deal with snow, where even modest accumulations can cause major disruptions. By the time this storm moves through, much of the eastern half of the country may have experienced snow within the span of just a few days. The repeated shots of cold air combined with multiple storm systems paint the picture of a winter pattern that is fully locked in and showing no signs of letting up. From Wisconsin and Michigan early in the week to Indiana, Ohio, and West Virginia by Tuesday night, to Virginia and Washington by Wednesday, and potentially all the way down toward the Carolinas by Friday, this is shaping up to be a week defined by winter weather. Anyone with travel plans during this period will need to stay closely tuned to the forecast because conditions can change quickly, and even small shifts in storm tracks can dramatically alter who sees the heaviest snow. One thing is clear, though. Winter is not backing down, and the days ahead are likely to bring widespread snow, cold temperatures, and significant impacts across a large portion of the country.